Building metal wings to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode, 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 PinCode. Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode, 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 the secret PinCode, 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 PinCode.
In 500 kilometers, turn to the right.
Yep, will do.
In 300 kilometers, turn to the right.
Thanks very much, but I heard you the first time.
Checkmate! Huh? Are you sure you know how to play this?
In 100 kilometers...
Great flaming carrots! What is your malfunction? How many times are you gonna say it?
You have missed the turn, flawed carbon-based being. But there is another turn in 300
Why
kilometers.
didn't you say something, you piece of junk?
That's a bit of an overreaction, my dramatic friend. Global satellite navigation is an intelligent and super helpful invention.
The only thing it's good at is being super annoying.
Remember, before GPS, we had to use less advanced and less accurate means of navigation. It was crazy. For instance... He should be back by now. I hope there hasn't been an accident. Oh, what if something has gone amiss?
Sweet sauerkraut! Base, come in, Base. Condor here. Base, it's Condor. Do you read me?
Base right here. Hello?
Base, Condor here. Flight test is underway. Do you read me, Base?
I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm currently flying over the desert. There's a bit of a dust storm. My compass is damaged. It's hard for me to tell exactly where I am.
Come again? Am I to understand? You're really lost?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not lost.
Thank you, my friend. I know you're very brave and ready to help, but the desert is simply too large, and we have no idea at all where Pin is. It'd be like looking for one particular grain of sand on the entire beach. Excellent thinking! What a wonderful idea! That's called inversion method, solving the problem through contrast.
Reverse reasoning, or backward chaining, is a way of thinking that turns your problem upside down, working from a goal backwards to the start to find out what to do.
It's much easier for Pin to look for us than for us to look for Pin. To put it simply, Pin needs to find the right direction to get out of the desert. Right. Sure, it's tricky with no compass in the middle of the desert, but explorers of the past used to find the right way somehow.
Since the horizon is continuous, if you know one direction, like which way north is, you can figure out all of the others based on that one you know. If you get lost and you don't have a compass, the position of the sun can play that role for you. For instance, in the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east arrives in the south around noon, and sets in the west.
Hey, look at that! Ugh.
Ah, yes, nighttime. Well, at night we have... almost. We have the polar star.
Groovy, danke!
The North Star, or Polaris, shines above the Earth's true north. It can be found at the end of the Little Dipper's handle. To find it, draw a line from the front two stars of the Big Dipper straight up to the end of the Little Dipper, and there's Polaris, the North Star. Now, if you can't see the sun or the stars, you can also find your way by things around you in nature. Moss or lichen covers stones and trees on their northern sides. Tree bark is harder and darker facing north, and anthills are usually located north of tree stands, and the southern side of the anthill will be shallower than the northern one.
Alrighty, still lost.
Condor, it's base! I've got grand news for you! If you don't have a compass, you can always find your way by using the stars. Or anthills. I'll explain how.
Nicht for stars, nicht for hills events, nicht for everything, except for the sand. And that there's a lot of.
Think. There must be a way. Nothing's impossible. Except, of course, for all the things that are impossible, of which this is not one. Ha! BB, forget old-fashioned methods. Did you know it's possible to determine where a person is with the help of satellites up in space?
Satellite navigation can determine someone's location with amazing accuracy to within a few meters. Small electronic receivers determine latitude, longitude, altitude, and achieve time synchronization. Satellite navigation has 3 segments. About 24 satellites, give or take a few, form what's known as the space segment. The control segment is an intricate network of antennas at monitors and control stations on the ground. And the user segment is an electronic receiver you hold in your hand or carry in your vehicle. The 24 satellites are about 20,020 kilometers above the Earth. They are divided into 6 groups, 4 satellites in each one. Each group of 4 satellites moves on the same orbit and makes 1 revolution around the Earth in 12 hours. By dividing all of the satellites into equal parts, there are at least 4 satellites positioned over each segment of the planet at all times. To determine location, a user's receiver determines the distance to 3 visible satellites. The distance to one of the satellites is x, so the receiver can be placed in an imaginary green sphere with its center at the point of the satellite location and x radius. The receiver then measures the distance to the second satellite, and here's another sphere. The receiver can then be placed at the point where these 2 spheres intersect. For clarity, let's make it red. Having calculated the distance to the 3rd satellite, the receiver constructs the 3rd sphere and determines 2 points of its intersection with the red circle. As you can see, one of the points is in space, so we can discard that. And using this method of triangulation, we can determine exactly where the receiver is.
What do you reckon, then, my mechanical friend? Will we be able to successfully construct enough satellites to pull this off? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Exactly the number needed for Pin to determine his coordinates.
satellite carries 4 atomic clocks that work to an accuracy of 1 second in 20 million years. And every satellite creates its own unique impulse sequence. The user's receiver gets this impulse sequence with a delay that is equal to the time needed for the signal to cover the distance between receiver and satellite.
One!
So to determine location, the receiver must measure 3 signal time delays from 3 different satellites.
Setz 2! Drei! Dum 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 dum.
Know what, GPS? I think you're pretty cool after all. So how about it? Friends?
You have missed the turn again. Unbelievable. There is another turn in 3 million kilometers.
That's it! We're replacing you with an anthill. Cool. Uh-huh.
This comet is one of a kind.
It's amazing!
Just a usual piece of space rock. Nothing special. My friend, I would have that you, as a seasoned poet, would appreciate the beauty. Bam, 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 bam.
What? Are the poems not writing themselves again?
Perhaps our friend's foul mood is not due to any creative crisis, and he might be a good candidate for our work studying with the brain.
What?
Mood, one might say, is conceived in our head, or more specifically, the brain. The brain consists of dozens of billions of nerve cells, or neurons, all connected to each other. When we think, feel, and operate our bodies, neurons constantly communicate with each other. When the neuron is firing, electric impulses run along its branches to other neurons. When several impulses at the same time reach a sleeping neuron, it wakes up and starts firing. The places where neurons contact each other are called neural synapses. Neurons are separated from each other by a small interval called an asynaptic cleft. When the impulse from a firing neuron reaches a sleeping one, a special thing appears. A neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter affects receptors and the sleeping neuron wakes up and starts firing. For the brain to work properly, neurons have to communicate constantly. Neurons are also responsible for our mood, and their neurotransmitter is called serotonin. If these neurons for some reason stop communicating, then we can start to feel depression, insomnia, paranoia, and even aggression.
Chap, I do say, we don't joke about those types of things. We need to treat Wally.
Ah! Wally! Now don't move!
It's
Now do you feel
irresponsible in
safe,
regards to your
Doctor?
health. We need to
Is your
watch
head
after him
straight?
and provide
It's
symptom
fine.
with the brain, even aggression.
We're gonna fix you!
Enough! Just because I don't share your happiness doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. Maybe you guys are the problem.
There's another symptom for you, paranoia.
You guys are the symptoms.
What was that?
And the stabilization system is out of whack.
And where'd Wally go?
The trauma isn't fatal.
Just a minor injury. Nothing serious.
Wally, you'll get better.
Hi. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm great. Rosa or the kitchen? Oh. Hi, Crash. I feel much better now. Everything with my head is... I'll go to Rosa. Hello. I'm completely healthy.
Congratulations.
Can we...
You're free.
Something about this comet. I can't shake the feeling that there's something wrong here.
There's something wrong here everywhere. I'll be darned.
Hey! Everything's okay with me. And with my head.
Congratulations. He's smiling still. Everything's all right with him.
What's up with them?
What's going off?
Olga! And I am... completely okay.
That's strange. Everything's too strange.
Chico, maybe you can tell me why everyone's acting so strange.
That's what you thought? Oh, did you see them? Do you understand? No? Ah, I understand. I always suspected. Walking around, whispering in the background, everyone is against me. And what are you smiling for? Ah, you are one of them.
Me?
You
What?
got
What gave you that
something up
idea?
your sleeve.
What was that? What? Did something happen while I was sleeping? Aha! Well, at least someone's normal. Pin, base here, come in, over.
What do you need?
I'm glad that at least you're okay. Working as always. By the way, what are you doing?
Dismantling the sphere jet.
What for?
I'm tired of its stupid piece of metal breaks all the time.
But we'll all die.
Well, I have a spacesuit.
What happened here? What? Well, let's have a look. Doko. Could this be one of your experiments? I'm convinced that the success of space travel depends on teamwork and the crew's positive attitude. Why do mood neurons sometimes stop communicating? Let's imagine that our brain is a computer. Sometimes, due to large tasks, the computer freezes up. It's no use knocking my risk-taking friend. The computer needs to reload. The brain has a reset button too. It's called Zone 25. From time to time, it reloads our brain so we don't get frozen up in a bad mood for too long. But sometimes, Zone 25 stops working itself. Then the neurons stop communicating, and depression begins. Unfortunately, we can't always control our emotions. This case with Wally has clearly shown that. I used Spheroscope, and after having examined the future, I created an injection which will make Zone 25 not only invincible, but will also force mood neurons to communicate more effectively. I call it Friendtonin. It will help us to be friendly and, dare I say, very happy. But in order to make sure it works, I need to first block serotonin so that I become, gloomy and unfriendly. My friend, fix your stabilizing system. It's impossible to work.
I've already fixed it!
I see. I have blocked serotonin, and everyone else inhaled it through the ventilation. But how come it didn't affect me? Because you were in the infirmary. The air is filtered there. Hi. Oh, look at the comet over there.
Well, look, he's still all smiles. I'll be darned.
He's figuring something out.
Our friend just likes to be very special. But no big deal. We'll heal him. You'll be like everybody else. Crash. Catch him now. The subjects in 3D. Don't let him get into the laboratory. Is the suit a little tight? Oh, my dire... Oops. Hi.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
After Friendtonin, the comet looks even better. My friend, you need to accept it.
Enough, my friend. We saw today that you can paint everyone with the same brush. Wally's position is a protest against the soulless technologies of the future, isn't it?
No, I just like being special.
Which color yarn should I use next?
Uh-huh. I don't understand how princes found princesses in medieval times. I'm pretty sure they didn't have phones, so how did they know where to find each other?
Oh, well, they would go to dances. Or they would just talk to whoever was nearby.
Ugh, how boring. That's no way to live.
Well, communication was limited back then.
it was still romantic.
Read this one already. This one was boring. Disappointing plot twist. I think I read too fast for my own good.
Dragons and magic. I don't have that, but I just have to become a princess. There must be a way for my prince to find me, and none of these are helping me.
Don't worry, I'm sure he'll hear you. Huh? I've read that whole series.
Our town is so isolated here. We're all in a bubble.
No, we're in my house.
What I mean is, we should communicate with the outside world, I think.
Hi, guys. Pin, I need some building supplies.
See how bored these poor kids are? They're turning to construction to fill their time.
Uh-huh.
They should be talking to new people, seeing new things.
Oh, I'm taking this too.
Roses are red, my wool is purple, my hooves are purple, and, oh dear. You've really written yourself into a corner this time, Wally. Wait, roses are... What rhymes with roses? My wool is... Huh?
Oh, it's just you. I was so certain my prince had finally come to find me. Seems I was wrong.
What is this? A bunker?
It's a tower built for a princess. I thought that would be obvious from the princess at the top, which is obviously me. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to wait up here until my beloved strolls by.
Huh. So what happens if he doesn't?
Oh, Wally, sheep of little faith. This is like the olden days. I'm taking charge of my fate by doing nothing. And this type of nothing is hard work. I have to maintain my beauty. Why are you here anyway? And stop looking so sheepish.
I've been writing some new poetry, and I could use some help. Do you want to read them? I promise, I won't hog all your time.
First of all, no. Secondly, I have to wait for my prince.
What makes you so sure he'll come?
Because that's how stories go. He'll be someone tall, dark, and handsome. Oh my, he's here, he's here!
Ooh, X's beat O's again.
Huh? Ugh.
Hey, Crash. You want to put those big ears to use? I've written some new stuff.
Sorry, no time. I'm on a winning streak.
Well, yes. You're playing tic-tac-toe by yourself.
I know. And there, won again. I'm too good.
These kids need to talk to others their own age out in the world.
Maybe we could help them. And by we, I mean Pin, of course.
There's a wealth of information out there. Millions of people in the world exchanging information all day. If only there was some way to connect us all.
That's a good one, Pin. As if a million computers could talk to each other like we're talking right now.
A computer is a device that stores and processes data, which can include music, photos, documents, and loads of other types of information. Nowadays, computers can hold so many different things and all types of media. Computers use binary, which is kind of like their own secret language that transmits data. And computers can communicate with each other with a little something called the internet. We learn so much from what we hear and see. We can't yet feel, smell, or taste things in computers, but luckily that's only 1% of things we learn.
Sounds like computers are pretty useful for lots of different things. How many are there? 100?
There's way more than that. They're being built every day. Someday every family will have their own computer.
Okay, so what if we take our computer and connect it to everyone else's computer with wires?
Now you might be onto something here. A net of wires!
Wait, so if every family has a computer at home and something with nets... Wait, I'm confused.
It's about communication, my fine feathered friend. Imagine having your pictures on one computer and you can share them with someone far away. Words, images, videos, even games. By connecting all of the computers, we can share this information with everyone and we can learn from each other.
That would be a hoot.
The obvious way to do this would be to physically connect each system with a wire. Take a look. The info would travel from one system to the other, like a phone.
But it would take a really long wire to reach the world. Probably millions of miles of it.
Yeah, it would have to stretch pretty far, but I don't know what else we could do. Wait, we need to think bigger with satellites.
Computers can send each other information with the help of radio waves. But if they happen to be farther apart, it's harder for them to receive information. Luckily, there are transitional devices, which can help by catching that same signal and sending it out to where it needs to be. These are sometimes called transponders or wireless repeaters. And the more distance between two computers, the more of those cool guys you'll need. If you put a transponder really high, for example, say orbiting the Earth, you get the ultimate power. It can send information back to a super wide range. Don't worry, little desktop. One satellite can reach almost half of the whole planet, which means the information goes way up to the satellite, then back down again, all before you can say, "Science is awesome."
I think every computer should have its own special number. That way you know who you're looking for.
Oh, good idea. Like a phone number.
Weird decoration.
Every computer has a unique number called an IP address. It's like their name, only it's 12 numbers instead of Charlie or Timmy. With an IP address, computers can find one another the same way that your exact phone number makes your phone ring. It's a whole wonderful world of IP addresses sharing emails, music, and silly cat videos.
Wow, just think! All of this information about to be in our hands! Or flippers. Now we'll be able to do so many things we couldn't do before, like do research, or play games, or even talk to people in a different country.
Ooh, or what about buying some yarn?
Of course, we'll be able to buy almost anything with this new, DocoNet is what I want to call it.
Let's not jump to naming anything just yet.
Very well. You can search the internet to find tons of new books.
You know, I've always been a fan of Dickens.
Playing games by yourself is a thing of the past, and you'll always have an audience for sharing your new literary masterpieces.
I could start a knitting club.
I'm sure strangers will only give constructive criticism of my poetry.
Internet. I love it.
I know she has a goal in mind, but she's really hamming it up. Hey! Any luck with that prince yet?
Not yet. But I haven't lost hope. I'm sure he's getting me a gift. Plus, by the time he gets here, my hair will be long and he can climb it. Although, that would probably be painful.
I hardly think that's worth the wait.
Of course it is. That is my destiny.
Huh? Why would this be your destiny? Sitting in a dark room, waiting for someone else to find you, never having any fun? You look like you could use some sun. Take charge of your life. Go out and find your own Prince Charming. Please, if you come down, I'll show you a different way. Your prince is in the 21st century, and I know how to find him.
Good thing I'm great at taking pictures of myself. About me, huh? I'm a cute, brilliant princess. Oh, a response.
I'm a vegetarian and enjoy long walks in pastures. You could say I'm raising the... Bah?